Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another risible episode of Anything But Politics. As always, my name is Jim, your favorite drag queen who's too afraid to try drag, and I'm here with...
Your friendly neighbor Christian, who just needs to borrow a cup of salt.
Ooh, that's a new one.
Just a cup of salt, man. That's really all I need.
A cup?
Just an entire cup of salt.
I'm so sorry. Let's back up. A cup of salt?
A cup of salt.
Hey, just running through a new recipe, neighbor. Cup of salt.
Just an
What do you
entire
make
cup
it?
of salt.
Pickles? That makes sense.
Yeah? Do you need an entire cup of salt for pickles?
You need a lot. It's literally been... I'm so mad at myself because I haven't pickled anything this summer.
Okay.
Did last summer, and I wanted to again, and I'm still gonna, but it's a matter of the fact that the pickle plant, the cucumber plant, had to be thrown away because our cat got sick.
It got wet. The cat got sick, yes.
Yeah, so now it's like, there goes I was growing cucumber. I could just... Now I'll buy cucumbers and I'll just pickle stuff now. That's why I was waiting. I would have done it way back in the peak of summer. Now we're at late summer. I'm going to get like early autumn pickle. It's weird.
That's so weird, dude.
Right? It's wrong.
You
It's
need
wrong.
a summer pickle.
So it's the middle of summer and I'm going through my pickle recipe and it's been a while, so I don't remember exactly how much it was, but it's a hell of a lot. I feel like it's either like it's half a cup minimum.
Wow.
Right? Has to be. Can't remember off the top of my head.
So
I'm totally wrong. The recipe could call for 2 cups.
If you're making twice as much.
If I'm not looking at the recipe, I don't recall.
That's okay.
I black out and pickles happen.
How fun.
That's how it is with a lot of things. And it's like, I know how to do this thing, and by golly, I know how to do them well. And they're like, cool, how? And I'm like, I always watch a little video. I always read a little index card.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
So it's like, I follow the recipe and then I'm there. And it's like, cool, what's the recipe? And it's like, no. Brain turns off at that point. I'm the pickle man at that point. Jim is gone.
Do you know the pickle man?
So I don't remember the recipe because Jim's not reading it. The pickle man is. He loves that recipe list. He reads it every night. He goes, 1 cup of salt. I don't have a cup of salt.
Who would have a cup of salt?
I don't have a cup of salt right now. I don't want to drive anywhere. Knock. Neighbor. Hi, do you need They have a cup of sugar in hand. Hi, I was just making some sweet tea. It's like, no. Could you empty that immediately? Anywho, welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back.
It's Jim and your friendly neighborhood Christian.
Yeah.
And we are here. Risible means to make laugh. Like it's a laughy little...
Oh!
I think it's like it's not archaic, but it's old. People don't use it anymore.
I thought it was like risible.
You'd think.
Yeah.
No, this predates Riz.
Whoa.
But it's the same thing to razz on someone.
Yeah.
I think those came from similar places.
Just razzing you. Yeah.
Razzing you was a referencing the word risible or to not to riz. That wasn't a word. This is RIS. Anyway, we don't care. This is a comedy podcast, and there's more interesting sciences out there than because it has to be science.
It does. It would.
There are more interesting sciences for us to laugh at.
Yeah.
As if comedy is just out of the picture.
It has to be.
Funny science is it. What's the funniest non-funny thing? Like if you had to be like funny science.
Ooh.
Do you want to do school? I feel like school subject is too limiting.
Yeah.
Like take something that's not funny and make it funny by just adding the word funny to it. So like there's funny Walmart. It's like Walmart, but every individual product you grab off the shelf has a different sound effect that plays.
Ooh, or a little joke on the nutrition facts.
Yeah, it's like if Laffy Taffy was the business model for the whole store.
For everything.
You just get your milk and it's like why did the milkman fall?
I like that.
He fell into a hole and it's like whole milk.
Wow. Did you just make that up on the fly?
I did.
Or funny mechanic or funny auto shop.
Funny auto shop. Because that's where we need it. That's where we get the news we most need jokes for.
Yeah. You go up to the front desk and he's like, oil change? All right, that'll be $4,000. And you're like, oh, and then it's like, it's only $3,000.
That's not a joke. That's a real thing people do, and that's something I don't like when they do.
Yeah, me too. But it is a joke, kind of.
Yeah. That's like but I feel like you've also complained about this type of joke as a pizza delivery guy.
It's true.
Like you have a customer that's like, hey, did you order the pepperoni? And they go,
No, I didn't.
Ha! And you're like, I hate that. That's not a joke.
It's not a joke. You just lied to me.
But funny mechanic could work, and it's like we don't install manufacturer parts here. We put in the dog toy equivalent. So you know there's a dog toy everything.
Yeah.
It's like there's a little turbo, there's a little accelerator. Here's a little accelerator is not a thing. What was I going for there?
Gas pedal?
Sure. I think there are gas pedal squeaky toys. There are engine ones, little engine blocks that you can chew on.
Horn.
I'm thinking of what went wrong in my car. Alternator. Accelerators are close
Transmission.
word. Yeah, here's a little transmission for you to chew on. It's all squeaky toys.
I love that.
Anyway, yeah. Start her up. She purrs.
Yeah.
Squeaky.
Squeaky. I like that sound.
What is that?
Squeaky. Funny.
That's your car. I had something happen at work.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
We're done with the funnies.
Do you want to be done with the funnies?
Yeah, we'll be done with the funnies.
Let's be done with the funnies for the whole show. This is going to be a very serious show.
How fun for you guys.
For the rest of this one episode, we're done with the funnies. We just decided.
Yeah. Aren't you excited?
Is that not what you meant?
We like to get the funny stuff out in the first 3 minutes, and then the rest will be educational.
We're going to tell like
serious
20, 30 jokes in the first 5 minutes of your show.
Yep.
And then it's NPR from then on out.
Ooh, we love NPR.
But I did have a story I wanted to tell before we spun the wheel today.
Okay.
What is a not life-threatening emergency that could happen to you in public that would...
Choking.
There's this...
Diarrhea.
There's this space. And it's
Headache.
a very dangerous one to be in.
Okay.
Because things can be fine. And you're comfortable. You're
Nosebleed.
good. Everything's good in the world. Wait until I'm done.
Oh, okay.
Because that'll help you answer this.
Oh, that's fair.
There's everything is good in the world. And then there's everything is bad. And when everything is bad, you work to make it better. But there's this lull in the middle where if things are kind of bad, but you don't know what action to take to fix it, you'll be like, well, it's not so bad that I have to fix it right now. So you kind of exist in this space where you let a bad thing happen because it's not that bad.
Yeah.
So what situation could you be in which an emergency happens, but you go, that doesn't require me to immediately sprint. Someone's got that handled. They're surrounded by people that can help. I don't need to. But there is this moment where you go, should I do something? Like,
yeah, definitely. Like, okay, so like you're walking along in an amusement park or something.
Yeah.
Or just in a park. You're in a park.
Okay.
Park makes more sense for what I'm about
to say. A lot less roller coasters, a lot more trees just appeared in my mind.
And a dog is like foaming at the mouth.
Oh.
And like baring its teeth at its owner and like,
oh shit.
Yeah, but it's not really doing anything. It's just kind of in an attack stance.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to do it. Like you wouldn't.
You don't immediately run over because there's no threat assessment.
Right.
But you don't go, well, that's nothing.
Yeah, you don't walk by and go, typical day at the park. You're like, that is...
There's something happening right now,
and it's not
I
supposed
don't
to be.
know how to become involved or if I should.
Yeah.
I'm at work.
Okay.
And it's the middle of my shift, which for those that don't know is the graveyard shift. I work overnights. The store's closed for 6 hours of the 8 that I'm there.
Yeah.
Store's closed. No one's in there. Halfway through the night, we're just vibing. I have music in one ear because you're only allowed to use one earbud so that you can hear for announcements. And I hear the walls of Jericho fall. I hear just the most cacophonous collapse of a structure. Just something falls. It is heavy. It is sound. Just sound. I'm only using one sense here because it's out of my eyesight. If I looked where the noise came from, because I could tell where it was coming from, but if I looked there's so much shit in my way because I'm in a grocery store that there are shelves and other units in place. I can't see what's happening on the other side of those walls. But on the other side of some clothing racks, something catastrophic was happening. And it stops because it goes dead silent. And everyone goes, should I go over there? Should I walk to that part? Should I put down my work? Because I have a job. Should I put down my work and go over there despite the fact that I knew for a fact there was a team working over there of like 30 people. It's likely they just dropped something.
Yeah.
But if anything did happen, it's automatically at emergency mode.
Yeah.
I'll go over there. I'll go over there.
Just to
so
check.
I put down my box and I walk around a couple of racks of clothes. And it was the team that was doing remodeling and they were putting up these racks. While they were dismantling a piece, the piece collapsed. It fell in upon itself, and it's like there it was deconstructed on the floor. Some pieces were broken, but at least they weren't just moving it. They were getting rid of that, bringing in a new one. But I could tell, you can tell, because if nothing happened and everything's okay, everyone that it happened around is talking to each other like, shit, you okay? Everything's fine.
Yeah.
They weren't talking. And that's when you know. Who's the worst person that something catastrophic, like something that big, and these walls of like a dressing room. I think they were taking apart the dressing room.
Oh, God.
Walls and doors. And it just fell. And it did land on someone. And it did put them in a leg brace. Just this incredibly small Korean woman. It was so I mentioned this because it's one of our workers, right? It didn't fall on a customer because there were no customers in the store.
Right.
But it did happen to fall on like a 4'11" Korean woman. And
which is okay to be.
Yeah. No, you know what? I never implied it wasn't, but I still want to say it because you're right. So I want everyone to listen to Christian because he is right. It's not a bad thing to be a 4'11" Korean woman. I think you're right. I think we should go ahead and say
it is okay to be that.
we weren't implying that it wasn't. However,
in case anyone had the
reminder,
yes,
that if this fits you or anyone you know, it's totally okay.
That is more than okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. No, my dad does that shit all the time, and I get on him for it, and I hate that I just picked that up. Okay.
It's funny though. Okay. But she's such a sweetheart. Like everyone was like, God, that's the worst person it could have happened to. Not just because of size, but because she's just so sweet. Yeah. There are some coworkers you think a wall would fall on, and you'd be like, thank God. Walk it off, like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But like everyone was so heartbroken for this woman.
Yeah.
It's okay. We found a job for her that didn't require walking.
Good.
There's like vendors that constantly come to the back room, like Coca-Cola and Pepsi and everything, that need to come in, unload a truck, and leave.
So she unloads the truck.
She sat by the door, which has to remain locked for safety. And when a vendor came, she'd see it on a little screen, and she'd like unlock it and welcome him in, and then sit back down. Security detail, I'd call it. It's not a job that typically exists.
I was going to say, that's not really a job. It's a task.
It's a task.
I wouldn't clarify it as a job, but it is a task for a person who works there that is not able to do their usual job.
Exactly. It's reasonable accommodation. It's the whole thing.
Absolutely.
But it was insane to have had happen. Yeah. Like I was working, and like it didn't even happen to me, but I heard it all and I saw it all, and I was there when it happened, and it was insane because you just don't know what to do. You're like, I'm like first aid CPR certified. I took like a 6-hour course at like a local hospital and got like a license.
Because you can do that.
Yeah, you can do that.
You should do that.
Anyone can do that.
Yep, anyone can and should.
I want you to know that I don't think it's outright free, but it is, I believe it's relatively cheap.
They're incentivized to make as many people like able to do that as possible.
Because if you do a little bit of legwork the moment the emergency happens and then someone gets to the hospital, immediately we're talking about the difference between their hospital stay being a day and them needing a major operation.
Yeah.
The little things you do immediately after the emergency, those little ripples turn into waves later down the line in terms of healthcare.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you are able to and can afford to be completely like first responder certified, do it. It was a fun time as well. Got to go in there, do all that. And yeah, I was like, I am not licensed anymore. Like that expired.
Oh.
But I have the knowledge.
You have the knowledge, yeah. That's
I'm
all
like,
you need.
Here are 30 people over there, some of which are already like helping her get up and like doing the threat assessment and everything. And here I am like, but do I just go back to work now? Like, does a manager make an announcement? Like, what happens?
Yeah.
There's no protocol for this.
There isn't.
Like, there's no one took the initiative to be that guy that was like, hey, everything's all right. We're good. Yeah. So everyone was just kind of left in the dark and had this lull of like, I guess I'll keep working.
Yep.
And she's out of the boot now.
Oh, good.
But it happened, and it was crazy.
It's like when you're at a public pool,
yeah,
and there's not a lifeguard on duty, and someone takes a big old poo in there.
It's like exactly.
Everyone's like,
who gets the poo?
Yeah, everyone gets out of the pool, and then it's just dead silent.
The poo guy's gone.
Yeah, It's dead silent for like 20 minutes, and everyone's just looking around like, when can we get back in?
Yeah.
Like, do we go home?
Yeah.
What do we do? Does someone go in there and grab it with their hands?
Is this going to be closed for like 3 minutes or like the day?
Yeah.
Like when you get the poop out, is that the end of the process?
Do we call the police?
Yes. Yes, you do call the police. I'm at the Rutherford local a pool right now, and the lifeguard isn't on duty. We can't find him. And they're like, "Oh my God, did someone like? Are they okay? We're sending dispatch right away." And it's like, no. I think
Just send one guy.
send the guy.
Give him gloves. Give him gloves. Please give him gloves.
Yeah. It's like the okay, we're dispatching the ambulance now. It's like no.
We don't need all that.
I think police.
Yeah.
And they're like,
it needs to be police.
I think it needs to be police.
It should probably be police. Yeah.
What is there like an active threat there? And it's like,
Yes.
Just one moment. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
It's getting dangerously close to the filter that like sucks stuff up, and I know that when it gets there, this is over. So we're working with like a 20-minute span. You gotta get someone here. They're like, we'll send them right away. Click.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Threat level 0.
Oh yeah.
That's a. I was thinking of some. There's a phrase or a video game or something that's called like threat level. I'm thinking of a threat level thing.
Are you talking about threat level midnight from The Office?
Ooh, yeah, I think I'm thinking of threat level midnight.
Threat level midnight. That's
Threat level midnight.
Michael Scott's
But I couldn't remember it.
Movie that he made.
Yeah.
It's a great episode. Threat level midnight. Yeah, no, threat level neutralized?
Threat level neutralized.
Is that
Can you bring in the bomb squad? Someone took a dookie in the pool.
the bomb squad?
Just these guys in full tactical gear, the helmets, the fucking just you're like nobody move. Just like they're backing up kids in bathing suits, and like someone has floaties on. They're pushing them fucking back. Someone shakily, like a bead of sweat dripping from their forehead as they take the net, and they're like, "Okay, I've almost got it. I'm in position." Threat level neutralized. Good job, Lieutenant. Thank you. Everyone applauds.
This is why he's been on the force for 20 years.
20. He retires next month, but just we can't keep him down.
What are we going to do without him? Yeah. What time are we at? Does that feel like a cold open?
I feel good.
Okay. Oh, we didn't do a cold open.
You want to make one of the 3 things we talked about the cold open?
Sure.
There was the collapse at work. There
Yep.
was the pool bit, and then there was and they all flow into each other quite well.
Sure.
So if Seth wants to use one of the 3, he can just use the one at the beginning.
Yeah.
Or at some point in the episode, there might be one. But
Yeah.
I just vote that we don't record one, and that one gets taken from the episode.
I'm good with
Whether
that.
it be from the intro we just did, or the rest of the episode that's about to happen.
I'm good with that. Seth, you can do that.
Go fuck yourself.
That puts us at 25 minutes before editing. Maybe
Oh,
we
boy.
have, what do you think, like a usable 6?
Yeah.
Yeah, like a nice 6-minute open, and we can get right into the episode.
Yeah.
So, for those unfamiliar with how we're about to do this, and the only folks that would be unfamiliar, I suppose, are people that missed last episode, go watch it if you haven't.
Yeah, you're going to need to.
You're going to need to understand this very complex thing that's about to happen. You don't understand. There's a wheel.
Yeah, there's a wheel now. You need the context to
It has,
get it.
Like, I'm sorry, it's a bit much for you. It has questions. It has challenges. It has games.
Yeah, and you wouldn't know that if you didn't listen to last week's episode. So go listen to last week's episode so you can figure out that it is games and challenges and other stuff like that, or topics or other stuff like that, or things that we could do and talk about. So
like, you don't know that we don't know what it's going to land on. Like, if you didn't watch last episode, it might totally go over your head that this is truly random. We don't know what it's going to land on.
we have no clue, and
We have nothing prepared.
You wouldn't know that if you didn't listen to last week. So go listen to last
I
week.
think that they could glean that we're unprepared. That much I think they could at least.
They probably could.
I want to give that to them.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, you have eyes. Ooh, congratulations. But the rest you wouldn't know.
And with those beautiful eyes, which could be blue or hazel or gray or brown or
There's more. Keep going.
Whatever color your eyes are.
There you go.
Whatever color they are.
Just
They're
cast
so pretty.
Cast a wide net. Yes.
They're so your eyes. Look upon this beautiful wheel. Have you ever committed a crime?
This all has to go to Patreon.
I have committed a great many, Wheel. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Wheel. I've committed crimes.
I'd love to talk about all of them. Oh, Wheel. Oh. It's our first date already hitting with the have you ever committed a crime? Who hasn't committed a crime? There are so many things that are defined as crime because it's crime. But at the end of the day, it's so minimal. It's like, who cares? Like, let's say something is a law, right? But let's say no law enforcement would ever enforce it.
Yeah, like going 2 miles over the speed limit.
Going 2 over the limit is
technically
a perfect idea.
It's you're breaking the law, but
because you're breaking the speed limit.
Bruh.
You are going over.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, this is a fact.
Limit means something.
You stole something that cost a literal $1 from a store. Cops aren't going to come to your front door.
No.
But it is theft.
It is theft.
It is by law theft. So my point being, who hasn't committed a crime?
I feel like there's got to be some people out there who have just like, never really had a reason to, never really.
Do you think these people have
come from
explicitly tried not to commit a crime?
So are you saying,
or do you think they like Mr. Magoo'd themselves into like accidentally bumbling and wandering into not doing crimes?
So do you think is your opinion, do you think that it's not possible to just...
I think it's impossible to make it to the age of 24 without committing in some small way something that could be defined as a crime.
Yeah.
Like you said, who hasn't driven, at least at one point accidentally, a little over the speed limit?
A mile over.
I do it on purpose. I give myself a incredibly comfortable 3.
Mm-hmm.
And then if I'm like in a hurry somewhere, I'll do an uncomfortable 5.
Oh, yeah.
But I never do 5 over. Period.
What if you're rushing someone to the hospital?
Oh, dude, I'd floor it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
50 over.
Yes. If I was rushing someone to the hospital, I'd assume it's because they needed to be there.
Sure.
And I will break any law to do it.
See, here's my thing is if I'm rushing someone to the hospital, I want to be driving so fast that I wouldn't get pulled over. Sorry, so slow enough to where I wouldn't get pulled over, but fast enough to get there fast.
I have a little mental image of what this would be for me because
Okay.
I've thought about this before. Do you want to be there with me?
Sure.
Okay. You're not going to be an active part of this.
Sorry.
No, so that can be you.
Okay.
But me the whole time, like the way that I perceive it is I get in the car, I start speeding. The second I start like pulling onto the road and accelerating, I'm not even speeding yet. I'm starting to. I'm calling not 911, the emergency service. I'm calling the police department. And it's like, hi, my name is Jim. You could probably hear my wife. She's screaming. She's going to give birth any second now.
Baby.
I drive this car. This is my license plate. I am currently speeding to the hospital because there is 0 time. I'm committing 2 crimes. My name is Jim. It is speeding and talking on the phone while driving. I'll stop doing one of those crimes now.
In a second, yeah.
In just a second.
And then you keep doing the phone call?
Yeah.
You just stay on the phone but slow down?
Yeah. There's a red light. They're like, we thank you for your caution.
Would they be like tip-topping away?
Oh, surely not.
Okay.
But I'm sure that there's something that they could do with the information, whether it be send a police escort.
I was just about to say, they'd probably send an escort out there. A police escort out
Even
there.
if they didn't. The word police is so vital in that phrase.
We'll send out an escort immediately.
Thank you.
I needed a good time.
She's giving birth. It's not a bachelor party. Thank you. I needed. What was I gonna do while she was in labor? While she was in the hospital room. What was I doing in the waiting room?
I can't be in there.
Thank you for sending the escort. But
Yeah.
even if they couldn't send a police escort, they could be like, we'll send out a message, and if someone sees you doing it, they know what's up.
Yeah.
But I don't know. But I have some I'm ready to get into specifically. Do you have individual crimes you think you know about? We've already talked about Did that make it into Patreon, or was that just a base episode? I'll call it carjacking.
That is definitely in base episode because it's a highlight.
Okay, so yeah, you pulling over.
TikTok highlight.
Yeah,
Yes.
and committing a crime on the side of the road.
Oh, that one?
Because you're in public.
No, that one was not. That one was in Patreon.
Okay.
No, I thought you were talking about. Do you remember that episode, season 2, long time ago, where
Whoa.
you were like, or I was like, "You ever jacked off in a moving car?"
Yeah.
Sorry, have you ever jacked
Yes.
off in a? Yeah,
Okay.
I thought you were talking about that.
Mm-hmm.
That was a base episode. No, my story, Patreon only.
Okay.
Y'all gotta check that shit out.
Okay.
We need to clip that and put it on Patreon because it's so buried now that people who may have not seen it wouldn't be able to find it.
What? The Patreon bit?
That Patreon bit in whatever episode. I don't know what episode.
Oh, you need to clip it. Keep it as Patreon only.
Oh yeah.
Upload the clip just in and of itself?
Yeah, just to Patreon so that they can watch just the clip.
Okay.
Because it's buried. I don't know what episode it's in.
Yeah.
We'll have to go find it.
We will.
We have to do that with all the stories. Anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Patreon.
So, do you have individual crimes you're ready to talk about?
Have I told the story of when I mentioned it, but I didn't actually tell the story.
I'm ready to do full interrogation.
Okay.
I'm ready to do a whole spiel.
Okay. Let's go.
Do you have a crime?
I've got a couple.
I've got a couple.
Go nuts.
Do you want to start? You list your first crime and I can show you what I'm wanting from character 2 out of this?
Sure.
Okay. Mr. Rollman, your crime.
Yes, officer.
What crime did you commit?
Well, I was 7.
Interesting.
Yes. And I was at my local church.
Okay.
Just being a kid.
Yes.
At church.
Yes.
And this church that I went to was also the school I went to. It was one of those.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And it just so happened that my class happened to be the same class that I was in on Sunday.
Okay.
Which that Sunday school teacher had a big old box of candy.
Okay.
He had a big old box of candy that he would give out to people who gave right answers.
Of course.
And every day at school, I would go up to the box of candy. Sorry, I lied to my teacher and told her that when people went over to lunch, I needed to stay back because I was self-conscious about taking medicine
Okay.
in front of other people.
Yes.
Which was a lie. I was fine with doing that.
Yeah.
But I told her that so that they would all go ahead and I could stay back in the classroom and I would take my medicine and then I would go over to the box of candy and grab a handful. And I did that every day for 3 months. I did not get caught by the teacher. I did not get caught by the Sunday school teacher. I got caught by my friend.
So you did get caught.
Yes.
Okay. After a 3-month stint,
After a 3-month stint,
what was the candy?
it was assorted hard candies and also your occasional Tootsie Rolls.
What do you do? Put them in a backpack? Put them in your pocket?
So I would put them in my backpack
Okay.
and take it home. And then I had
Good. So you're taking it home. You're not leaving wrappers at school.
Correct.
Very smart.
Never
man.
leave the evidence
Yeah,
behind.
yeah, yeah.
And I would take it home. It's in my backpack. I'd go to my room, unload everything. And I had a little desk
Yeah,
in my room.
of course.
And there was a drawer.
Mm-hmm.
And I would just put it in that drawer. My parents never checked the desk.
Of course.
They would come in and they'd check my clothes
Mhm.
dresser to make sure everything's folded and nice and stuff. But they never checked that desk drawer.
Of course.
And it was a big one. So I was able to really put it in there. And at night, while I was going to bed, I would take them and then I would put the wrappers back in the drawer. And then at some point throughout the week, I would dispose of them. And this was I held this operation. I did well. I maybe wasn't 7. I think I would have been like 9, but it doesn't matter. So my friend comes over.
Yes.
He opens up the drawer and I was like, no. And he looks and he goes, dude, where did you get all this candy? Because it's hundreds. I mean, it's hundreds of pieces of candy. It's been 3 months of just collecting. I didn't eat the whole handful every day.
Yeah, dog.
So I was
taking one handful every day of school.
Yep.
Something you go to Monday through Friday, 5 days a week for
Yep.
3 months.
Yep.
If you want to average that it has 4 months or 4 weeks per month, then you're talking about 5, 10, 15, 20 handfuls per month. That's 60 handfuls from a 9-year-old of candy.
Yep.
Is how much candy is in this drawer.
A small 9-year-old. I was very small. I probably fit like 12 in there.
Okay. So yeah, you have this drawer full of candy. He asks where it's from, and you say,
whoa.
Really?
I went, whoa.
Like finding $5 in your pocket. You're like, whoa, 230 pieces of assorted candy. Crazy.
And he was like, where did you get this? And I said, must be magic. I was like, it's got to be magic. It's a magic drawer. And he goes, dude, that's crazy.
Sick.
And I was like, okay, my lie is in the clear. And as I'm thinking that thought, Miss Suzanne, Christian has a magic drawer in his desk.
Oh, that's true. You gotta tell the closest adult when you find magic. Every kid knows that.
It's part of the thing.
It's part of the prophecy. Because how are you going to learn that there is a prophecy unless you tell your parents that some weird things happen and then they sit you down and go, we needed to tell you when you were older.
And I was like, no, they can't know. And then my mom comes in and goes, magic drawer. And I was like, no, it's nothing. He was just making a joke.
No, see, that's the thing is you could have played into it and she would have been like, okay, cool. They're playing magic drawer.
Yeah, honestly, but I didn't.
Honestly, yeah, that's the
can't
thing. Is
conceptualize that as a
we
9-year-old.
can look at ourselves as kids and go, "Hey, dumbass!" But essentially, all you needed to do was like, "Yeah, magic drawer." And
We're
she'd be
playing
like,
a game.
Oh, okay, cool. Thanks. Then she'd look back at your punk friend and just be like, "Hey, don't call me for this. I'm not playing right now."
This is by the way the friend that you met at my wedding. This is Jonah.
Oh hell yeah, sick.
Great, he's a great guy.
Yeah.
So Miss Suzanne, magic drawer. And she was like, magic drawer?
Yeah.
I was like, no, she's just making a joke. And she's like, Christian, what are you talking about? And I was like, okay, my 9-year-old friend, I got him with this. Yeah, Mom, it's a magic drawer. It makes candy. And she said, Jonah, you're going to have to go home. I'm going to have a talk with Christian. And I was like, so, got reprimanded, had to buy. She didn't believe me that I had been doing it for 3 months.
Okay.
She was like, you've been doing it for 2 weeks. Because I had to go buy candy.
Of course.
For the person that I was stealing it from. And I had to apologize. Of course. I'm sorry, I took candy.
Yeah.
And then I never took candy again. Until a couple years later, I took it from my mom. But,
magic drawer.
magic drawer. So.
It's the prophecy. I have to steal the candy.
So she was like, you're buying. I was like, Mom, it's got to be thousands. Which I don't think it was. I think it was probably like 800.
Oh, for sure.
Somewhere around there. And she was like, it was 200.
Okay.
And I was like, Mom, that 200 was left.
Mm-hmm.
I've been eating it for 3 months.
Yes.
She was like, you're buying 200.
Yeah.
Because she didn't want to fucking go to Sam's Club.
Of course.
And just.
That's why
whole
you
thing.
stole it, is because you didn't want to buy it.
Yeah.
That's the point. Yeah.
Yeah. And I literally could not pay for.
Yes.
So the punishment only makes sense if it's 200. She's like, it's 200. And so then I repaid my debts. And there it is.
Here's my thing.
I did my time. So
I would count this as a crime. I would count this as
probably not.
No, it is a crime.
I guess it is theft.
It is
from
theft.
Another person. Yeah.
Another person. Even if it's not a business, you stole from a person.
Yeah.
This person bought something, and whether or not the intent was to give it as a reward for something, you weren't taking it in that way. You were taking it as I just know where you keep it and want a handful of it.
Yeah.
So you kind of broke that social contract they made, and it is, theft off of one individual person.
Yeah.
The thing is like they knew, and they were okay with it.
They did not know.
They knew.
They did not know.
Did you have a dumb Sunday school teacher? Or a blind one? They were either stupid or blind.
He probably knew that some was being stolen. He probably just assumed it was many children taking 1 or 2 at a time. And he didn't care that much.
Okay.
But when he finds
He
out
didn't notice 5 handfuls every time.
Every time.
Every Sunday, he would check the bowl, and 5 handfuls were missing. Of course he knew. Be real with your child self. Tell your child self right now. Take him by the shoulders and go, hey, buddy, magic drawer? Okay. He knows.
He knows. Wow.
Apologize. Buy him the candy. Apologize. Do what's right. Do what's right by you and him. But he knows.
And he was like,
because
let him have
5
it.
handfuls every week for 3 months. And then you apologize. Of course, he knows after you apologize because you told him. But I'm thinking there was a before times this happened. What was the before times? Before he started doing it?
What do you mean before you started?
When did you not take candy? Was this as soon as you started taking the Sunday school class? Is this as soon as he started doing this type of reward?
It was as soon as I came up with the lie to stay back during class. That
Okay.
I was self-conscious about taking medicine.
So let's Sherlock this out.
Okay.
Once a day, I have a singular student that stays in the class an extra 5 minutes once everyone leaves. And the same time that started, I noticed that weekly, I have lost.
Different teacher.
Oh yeah. And I knew that too. So yeah, for that Sunday school teacher, all they notice is that 1 week, all of a sudden, it starts dropping by the handfuls. Like, he knew because he had to start buying more candy.
I was about to say, I do think every week he would just
Yeah.
So I don't know if he was like, I don't remember giving that much out last week. I think he was just going in and like, oh, more candy.
He knows he's only giving out like 6 or 7 a week.
Oh,
But he knows that he's coming to refill it with a bag every 3 weeks.
when I say it was a box,
Yeah.
I'm not talking like a little box, cardboard box,
Oh, what the fuck?
massive.
Where do you even get that?
What do you mean?
Oh, did he make the big box?
He just
took
had
a bunch of other things, poured it all in this big box.
Yes.
You can't be doing all that. You got to get a...
That's why I don't think he noticed. Because there was just so much candy. That's why I thought I could get away with a handful every day. It's because there was so much in there, and he was refilling it every week.
I refuse. If he was... No teacher...
I don't think I would
No
notice.
teacher that gives out candy as a reward refills their pool once a week and goes, this checks. This checks out.
That's true. I don't know. Maybe he thought that it was a bunch of kids taking 1 or 2 at a time. Because he knows there were kids in that class. There were like 11 kids in that classroom.
Yeah.
So he figured or maybe he figured the other teacher was like using it.
Oh, yeah. That other teacher's getting all up in my candy.
Yeah. He probably did. He probably just didn't care that much.
No.
Regardless of how it was being stolen.
Of course not. This guy's rolling in the money it takes to fill a box of candy.
But I feel like if he knew it was like, oh, 1 kid is coming in here and grabbing handfuls, he would have asked questions because you got to tell the parents at that point.
He doesn't know, yeah, because he doesn't care about the theft at that point. He cares about your health. Cares about your fucking teeth at that point.
Hey, you're going to need to load up on dentist visits because this kid's taking an insane amount of hard candies every single day. It's a problem.
For fucking real. I mean, drawer magic. Fluoride doesn't do miracles. But
that's my crime. That's the first ever crime I ever committed.
That was I don't remember the first crime I ever committed.
My crime virginity.
Man,
you don't remember your first?
I don't. If I thought about it for a while, I could probably remember because I do have a pretty okay memory.
Yes, you do.
But I'd have to think about it for a while. I have a lot of Rolodex of crime. I mean, take your pick. I'll tell the story of any of them. I stole a small, what is it? When you're at a gift shop, and you're like at a place that isn't local, and I bought you a little souvenir. Yeah. So I took a little souvenir turtle, from a gift shop in Costa Rica.
Cute.
Which I'm pretty sure is
Maritime
huge.
laws.
Yeah.
Oh.
No. Maritime laws is middle of the ocean.
I know.
This is I think it's huge. I think not only do of course we have laws about theft, but I think Costa Rica has even more severe theft laws.
Yeah.
So I was breaking the laws of 2 countries, and I pocketed that sucker and brought it home. I mean, I'll tell you that. I'll tell you the loyalty rewards fraud at gas stations.
Dude, what are you supposed to do? They make it so easy sometimes.
They make it incredibly easy. They literally say, hey, save 5 cents off a gallon if you put a phone number in here. And, one way to cheese that system is do a different phone number every time. Just put in random fucking numbers, and then you'll always get 5 cents off. One that I don't know if I ever mentioned, and this is like probably one of the bigger crimes I've ever committed, like probably top 10, is putting in an incredibly guessable phone number.
Oh.
Because, 1, no one probably has it.
Mm-hmm.
And 2, well, you'll see. I would, and I have videos of this. Like, I might have even talked about it on the show. I don't quite remember.
I don't think so. I've never heard this.
No, I'm going to tell it and you'll remember. I put in my area code, my actual area code for the phone number. And then for the 7 digits, I put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. My area code, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The number of people that did that as like a bullshit joke actually accumulated hundreds of dollars of gas purchases on this fake account. And as such, I was getting so many rewards points because so many people were BSing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. My gas was like a cent a gallon or cheaper. And I filled up my tank on like 14 cents and then I walked away.
How often did you do this?
I've done it in my life maybe 12 times ever.
Oh.
And I discovered I could do this 3 or 4 years ago.
Is there a reason you don't do it every time?
Yeah, because one day it's going to bite you in the ass.
I guess that's true.
Most of my theft crimes always include the moral of if I can pay for this comfortably, I'm gonna.
That's fair.
I don't take things just to do it.
Yeah.
There's always like I either just can't afford this right now and I need it.
Yeah.
Quite like gas.
Yeah.
Like I need to get to work or else I get fired.
Right.
So I do need the gas and it's like I don't have gas money.
Yeah.
So I have options. And
so
it's either a moral thing where I'm like, this checks out, or I just won't do it really.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair.
But I have a ton of, you name a crime and I'll see if I've done something akin to it. So like we just both mentioned theft.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess loyalty reward fraud is fraud.
Fraud is a little bit different from theft, but yes.
But it both involves like taking or stealing.
Yes.
Yeah, you name a crime and I'm going to see if there's something I have close to it.
Is it a crime? Because I did this recently. Is it a crime to, and then I'm going to ask you the question that you just asked me to ask you. Is it a crime to do, you know how Wendy's will do like, hey, if you purchase then you get to, and you put in a email address.
Yeah.
You get a free nuggets.
Different email addresses every time.
Every time.
Yeah.
Do you know how many email addresses I have?
I don't know if it's illegal.
I don't think it is.
I do it.
I do it. Absolutely.
I'm going to put y'all on something. Every single year for Black Friday, Hulu runs the same promotion.
Yep, just do a different.
Get one entire year of Hulu
So dumb.
for only 99 cents a month for your first year, and then it's normal prices. Put in a different fucking email.
It's a hassle, but it's once a year.
It is a hassle. You lose your watched, you lose your list, you can't maintain a regular account.
You save like $100 a year.
But the amount you save, oh my God.
Yeah.
So yeah, just do that with Hulu.
Yeah.
I've been doing it for 3-4 years now.
Dude, there's so many. These companies know that people do it.
Yep.
Why do they allow it to happen?
How would they disallow it?
Take away the incentive. You lost your privileges.
Just, because then they know that
They lose more money by taking.
They are punishing more people than is worth not getting the new customers.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, they end up losing more money by de-incentivizing than if people were to just scam away.
At the very bottom of every episode description is the same disclaimer.
Yeah.
On every single one.
Of course.
I'd just like to remind you that it is there.
Okay.
Before I say this.
Oh, okay.
The cameras at Walmart, 90% of them are fake. 90% of them, especially the little ones that are in the aisle. If you ever,
There's little ones in the aisle?
Where things are most commonly stolen from, yes. So if you go over to the sporting goods section, you go over to stuff like that. Sometimes they're in infant sections. At my store, there's even one right by not the entire juice aisle, but just the energy drinks. There's a little camera, and it has an antenna. There's the little tinted bowl for security privacy.
Yeah,
and then
it's cardboard.
There's the flashing red recording light.
Sure.
And there's just everything like that.
So they went up to a person who was like, "What does a camera look like?" And they're like, "In movies, it looks like this."
Yeah.
That's not really what cameras look like.
Yeah, you can Google this on TikTok. People have done it before. They've just committed a bigger crime. They've just stolen them.
The cameras?
Yeah. Brought them home and then took them apart. There's no camera in there.
That's so funny.
Another cute thing that my store likes to do is they've taken a label maker and then they print out a IP address, and then they put that label on the camera so it looks like an IP address and it looks like the stream of video is being sent somewhere.
Wow.
And that does make sense until you remember that IP addresses are public.
Yeah.
And you could just look it up
and see that it's not real.
Why is your CCTV footage being sent to Sweden? This isn't a real number.
Right.
There's no valid number. This feed isn't going anywhere. Why'd you put the sticker on? But, I've watched them come through and change the batteries on this thing because that red blinking light has to be powered somehow. It's an LED blinking light. They put it's literally it's a panopticon. It's for those that, just to describe this really quick, a panopticon is a style of prison where it is a circular room and that's where all the cells are. And then there's one tower in the center where the guards are, and they have a 360. They see everything. It's very panopticon. They're like, if we put a little fake camera right next to you, you're less likely to steal.
And that is true.
The reason I bring this up is because I mentioned that a lot of the cameras at Walmart are fake because they save more money by hinting that there's cameras and letting people steal shit. They know people are stealing shit, but they know that if they actually had to spend the money to pay for not only the cameras, but the equipment that it takes to record all of these or stream, or the storage space, the servers that they would require to take every Walmart in the country and get 24/7 footage from 50 cameras in each store, and then store all those somewhere. They know they can't. So they save money by letting you steal things and implying that there's cameras than they would if they just put actual cameras in and stopped the theft completely.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
How do you steal?
Me personally?
Yeah, what's your method?
My method is easy. Work there. Dog, you gotta steal from work. If you're not stealing from work, you're falling behind. Something. I don't care what it is.
A lot of the shit they give me is free. Like, I get free food.
Then there you go. Then they've created an environment in which you don't need to. And that's a much healthier work environment.
Yeah. But it's also a place that makes food. It's easier for them to, Walmart can't be like, buy product or like take products that we're going to offer these to you. It's a very different process than here, have a pizza for what you've done.
I wear a work uniform that involves a vest. That's it. And the vest has 2 giant pockets on it to hold all my equipment, my box cutter, my handheld scanner, a printer if I have one, a pen. There are a million things that can fit in these pockets, and it's because these pockets are huge. And that's awesome for stealing things. My not see-through work pockets that people expect to be filled with shit, I just put something in there.
What was your old method when you weren't working there?
Oh, if I don't work at a place and I'm going to steal something.
Yeah.
Wow, it's been so long since I've taken from somewhere that isn't somewhere where I've worked. Because I work at Walmart, which means that pretty much everything I steal can come from there. Yeah, they sell everything.
They sure do.
So beforehand, it was your classic cash register bit. It was your classic quote unquote. Oops, forgot to scan the 24-pack Coke that was on the bottom of the buggy. You know that underlayer there? Yeah. That's where I had my Coke because that's the only place it would fit. Oops, forgot to scan it. Or,
but now they got the people checking.
Oops, forgot to scan anything. No. This is way after they put those people in. I would take things from under the nose of so many people who said, stop, let me see your receipt. And then they'd see my entire receipt and then push me at the door.
How?
Because they're not going to go through the entire itemized.
They just do the things that are
I would never steal one. I would never go into a store just to take something and leave. But like Merlin and I were like doing some cleaning, and I was adding up how much it would be, and I'm like, we don't have the money for this, but there are like these 2 things that we need that are typically the things that you need the most are the most overpriced. Yeah. Because they overprice it because they know you need it. So these things that we needed that were like one of those things that you only for a household purchase like once every 10 years until they break. Not something I'd be using all the time. We're buying like a cart full of things, but it's like I can either try to, pocket 2 little things, or if I just don't scan those 2 things, then I've saved like $40-50. Yeah. So I would just scan 78 things instead of 80. And when they look at the receipt, they have a 1 in 40 chance of selecting the thing that I didn't scan. And not once yet have my odds rolled out to where they found the thing I didn't scan. Right. But even if they did, they'd go, hey, you didn't scan. I don't like it. That's why I stopped doing it for the most part. And it's great because now I work somewhere that has a lot of stuff. But it definitely, because it'll look bad. It looks bad if you forgot to scan, by happenstance, the most expensive thing. Right. I would always scan the most 2 expensive things. It's the two under those
Right.
that I wouldn't, and then everything else.
Yeah.
Because it looks very sketchy if it's the other way. Also, there's a good rule of thumb, and it's like, if I could buy this, I'd just rather not. Then make sure you have the money, because it's always nice to just be like, oh shit, sorry, didn't scan. Beep, there, bought it.
Yep.
Sorry, thank you for checking that.
Yep.
Didn't mean to do that. And then you totally meant to, and you do it again forever.
And you do it again forever. The only time I've ever stolen from like a place was I'd go to Sheets and fill up a drink, buy some other shit, leave.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I bought the drink. I didn't buy the drink. Because they got the self-checkout at Sheets now.
Yes.
I don't do that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm not trying to save $1.20. Like, the moral quandaries I have with it don't
Exactly. It's all a
supersede
question of morals.
Yeah.
And that's why my whole thing is like, don't steal from small businesses.
No.
Only mega corporations.
Yeah. And I can afford $1.20. Why would I steal it? I would be stealing it just for the fuck
don't
of it.
steal things you can afford.
Yeah.
Why?
Because then you're just stealing for fun or for the hell of it.
Exactly.
And that's messed up.
Yeah. If I ever see a customer that's like taking food or like anything like that, like, no, I didn't. No, I fucking did not.
Yeah. Any other crimes? Oh, yeah, I was going to ask you.
Plenty. Name one. Speeding. I've talked about on the show that I've done 110 before.
You sure have. Murder.
In a little minivan. Murder, never a person.
You have to think about it. Never a person?
Yeah, I've probably killed something.
Something.
I mean, come on.
Ooh.
Okay, so what do you define murder? Just people? It's probably fair if you consider murder. Only
I
people.
would consider murder.
No, I've never committed murder.
Animal abuse.
Define animal abuse.
Killing or
If
hurting
you
it.
have a pet for like 10 years, but like one time it does something just absolutely heinous, and like out of anger you like just hit it. One time in 14 years, you never do it again. Is that animal abuse? Because like you hit it.
No, I think abuse.
I don't know. You hit Leah once. Are you an abuser? You have done abuse.
It's a data.
Abuse has happened.
It's a data plot. It's not a.
Yeah, it's an outlier in the data plot for sure.
Yeah,
but it's 1 point when on average you were fine. So, are you talking about, am I neglecting an animal for 10 years?
Wait, really quick. It's still wrong. It's just you're not classified as an abuser. I don't want to make it sound like we're like, you can hit once. You can't hit once.
It's still. Are we talking about people or animals right now?
My wife.
Yeah.
I can't hit my wife.
It is
ever.
not okay for you to hit your wife.
Okay, cool.
If you need me to say that,
No,
then it is not okay for you to hit your wife.
It's not that I need you to say
hey, buddy, it's not okay for her to hit you either. I know, but it's okay.
We'll talk about that off
She
camera.
does not. It's okay.
We'll talk about that off camera.
It's okay.
No.
Everyone is gonna think that's real.
Cut the camera.
No, I mean other crime. Yeah, I've sped. I've been caught for speeding, but not caught for speeding. I got pulled over for using my phone while driving once, and
I got pulled over.
oh, just to answer your question about animal abuse.
Yeah.
No, I was just going to say that like no, because when things are accidental, it's not abuse. It is an outlier of a data point when it's like typically I love my pets, I take care of them. But I mean like there's been like a time during pet ownership that it's like, holy shit, how long has your food bowl been empty?
Yeah.
Because I knew I needed to do it last night, and it is now this morning, which means it's been 8 hours for the three of you to all have no food.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's bad.
Yes.
If you did that on purpose, you'd be an abuser.
Yes.
But because you did it on accident, and it's like, there's a little bit of wiggle room there. So no, I've never committed animal abuse, but like, I've made mistakes.
What about not your pet?
What, spousal abuse? Have
Animal
I forgot
abuse.
to feed Merlin?
Animal abuse, but it's
Oh my
not-
God, Merlin!
Animal abuse, but it's not your pet.
Another animal. No, I don't. Nope. I've yelled at a animal.
So one time,
Yeah.
I killed an animal
Okay.
by
On purpose?
by
On
accident.
accident.
But like on purpose.
Okay.
I killed the animal on accident.
Mm-hmm.
I hit the animal on purpose.
Okay.
Please hold on. Just hear me
I'm
out.
following. No, I'm actually with you right now. I'm cautious.
There was a squirrel up in a tree,
Okay.
and I bet my childhood friend Jonah, we all know.
Yeah.
I bet him that I could hit the squirrel
With a rock?
with a tennis ball.
Just throwing it?
Just throwing it.
See? That's impressive. Because you did it, right?
I did.
That's impressive as hell. And you didn't mean to kill it. You didn't go, I bet you $1 I could kill this squirrel. You and Jonah would have ended up very different people. But you look at your childhood friend and you go, I could kill this squirrel with this tennis ball. And you throw it.
I could hit it with this tennis ball. Not kill.
No, I'm going to murder this thing with this tennis ball.
I bet I could hit this. I bet I could hit the squirrel. It was just sitting there.
And if it tells anyone, it's dead.
And it was pretty high up, like higher than this ceiling.
This tree?
The branch.
Oh, the
branch
particular branch.
On.
I was like, I'd hope the tree would be taller.
Yeah, the branch that it was on.
Yeah.
And he was like, no way. Dude, right in the just ribs. And it hit him. And he fell and just dead on impact.
Well, yeah.
So what we did was we were like, okay.
What would you do if someone that was, let's say, 130 feet tall, just like took a little boulder and threw it up and down and was like, I think I could hit this human from like 18 miles away. His buddy goes, no.
No way.
A ball half the size of your body.
Yep.
Hits you.
Like a beach ball, but hard.
See, I also thought like a beach ball, but hard, but you have to think in perspective. So like with our human strength, you know how a tennis ball has some give? Like you can just push it with your fingies.
Squeeze it.
A squirrel could never. I used boulder because the hardness of a tennis ball to a squirrel isn't like a beach ball, but harder. It is like a rock.
Yeah, it is like a rock.
Okay, maybe not a rock, but imagine it was made of solid all the way through cardboard. A boulder that is half the size of you.
Yeah.
Let's call this 3 feet by 3 feet.
Yeah.
Solid cardboard just tossed at you.
Yeah.
And it hits you square.
And I'm 8 stories high.
That would hospitalize you.
Yeah. So dead on impact.
Yeah.
So we went experiment time because we didn't feel remorse. We were like, oh, damn. We were like 8.
Yeah.
We were like, oh, damn. That's crazy. Want to put it in a bucket, fill it up with water, and see what happens?
That's how serial killers happen. If you threw the ball and then it had lived, you're fine. If you threw the ball and it died, you're still fine. I'm going to say you're actually fine. You're okay. Oh, no, we killed it. No, and now there's a range of things. This flowchart goes multiple ways. You can be compassionate and bury it. You can be non-participatory and walk away and leave the squirrel where it lies.
Whoops.
Let another big animal take it, or let it become buried in dirt, and it, just time passes.
Yeah.
Let it rot away. Let ants take care of it. Do whatever you want.
Yeah.
That's non-participatory.
Yeah.
Or you could go the serial killer route and put it in a bucket of water and see what happens.
See what happens. Do you know what happens when you put a dead squirrel in a bucket of water?
It floats, right?
It does float,
Okay.
but I mean long term. We left it in there for weeks.
Yeah, no, very serial killer. No, I don't know what happens.
So-
I'd expect the same decomposition rate, not rate, but same decomposition stages as people. Meaning, at some point
Right.
it's going to bloat. At some point,
So it doesn't.
okay.
It doesn't change.
You know they just explode. Revolutionary. They come back. If you kill an animal, we tested it again. If you kill an animal,
Put it in a
heartbeat
bucket of water.
gone. Put it in water for 2 weeks, it comes back every time. We started testing it with other animals, birds, dogs. It works.
They come back. Do with that what you will. It does decompose,
Yes,
of course.
of course.
But not because it's decomposing, but because all it takes is like half a day for the maggots to start.
Oh, really? Okay.
Mm-hmm. And then they...
No lid or anything? This is hardly a scientific experiment.
It's not. But we were 8.
Where's your sterile environment?
Not a sterile environment. At all.
Okay.
It was a bucket.
So flies. Flies happen.
Flies happen. And the maggots...
Yeah.
And then I think the only reason I'm not a serial killer is because
Because when
Sorry.
we cooked it up and ate it, I did feel remorse.
no, I think there's lots of reasons. But when I saw
I think there's a lot of reasons I'm not a serial killer. Reason one being I have not committed murder in my entire life. Do you mean like reasons you don't think you're mentally broken?
Yeah.
Okay, and that's one reason you don't think you're okay. Why?
Yeah, because
Why?
I think if this had happened and it turned out well, I would have been like, let's do it with a rabbit.
Oh.
Yeah. But,
I'm gonna take you a peg back on the board.
Okay.
We can keep playing chess and you can keep coming back, but
Okay.
like here's my little move here.
I like chess.
You don't think that you are broken in the mind because at least if it had gone well, you would have thought like, what about a rabbit? What's going well? How could that experiment have ended well?
I mean, like,
what's a good outcome? What would you have gone? Oh, let's try a rabbit.
Like, if I thought it was really cool.
I know you're not allowed to move 2 chess pieces, but
if I thought it was really cool.
What's cool?
Like, oh, I like the way it decomposes. Or, ooh, I like the way its eyes look when it's dead.
That was checkmate. It was checkmate. I led you there. You tried to leave the chess game, but 2 more moves and we're back to... I don't think I'm broken because, like, at least I didn't, like, keep going. I would have, but I didn't.
No, I didn't think it was cool. But
Yeah.
if it had gone differently, but the way it went was that maggots ate it and it...
But your thing is battery. The fact that you thought that there was a cool, or that you still... What is cool enough to say, oh, let's try this again? If it had decomposed cooler, what is that? What is the cool outcome?
I'm not saying that I think there's a cool outcome, like as an adult, like, oh, I wish this had happened. But I just mean like if I had had a different reaction to whatever happened to the squirrel. But I didn't. I had a visceral reaction that scared me for months.
Yeah, because you said that's not cool.
I said this is not fun anymore. I don't like this.
What if murder was cool though? What if murder still killed people, but like something really cool happened when you murdered someone?
I'd be a serial killer.
That's what I'm saying. Like your line for like, oh, I'm not a monster. I didn't think it was cool or anything. And it's like, so you don't think serial killing's cool? If you thought it was cool, would you do it?
Maybe. I don't know. If I had established that opinion at 8 years old, who knows how I would have grown up?
Learned behavior, man.
Yeah.
It'll kill people.
That's what I'm saying. But I don't think it's cool, and I would never do it.
Yeah.
And even if I did think it was cool, I would hope that my morals would stand in the way. Or at least the police.
I don't think I've ever even hunted.
Oh, I hate hunting.
Yeah, I've never even like tried it.
Yeah. I have no moral problems with it. I just think it's dumb. I think it's stupid. Because the deer population is a problem.
Oh, yeah, word?
Yes. They overpopulate like crazy.
Oh,
so,
deer
like,
do?
Deer do.
So hunting is good.
Yes.
Okay.
That's why I say I have no moral problems with it.
Yeah.
I just think it's dumb to be like, oh, it's my personality.
No, I think some things are dumb with hunting. I think like one, I think guns are dumb when hunting just because it's like, I don't know, it's like any game you played having a win button.
What?
It's over. You did it. Bam, done.
Yes.
What'd you do? You came to sit in this tree for 6 hours so you could press one button to end the thing's life? You're hunting. You need to get to where you're going to be hunting, find a place that you think is good. Because all hunting is now is like, I'm going to go to the middle of the woods where I always come. I'm going to fill up this bowl of food, specifically deer food, that I know they love to eat. I'm going to go 10 feet away, and as soon as a deer comes and eats it, I'm going to shoot it. Yeah. That's not a sport. It's not a skill either.
I agree.
It's just a thing that you do.
Yeah.
But I think people that do hunting would consider it harder than that. No, it's a whole thing. It's like a sport. No, it's not a sport. It's like,
no, it's not a sport.
I think if you went out there with like a crossbow.
See, no.
And then, you shot it and it gave chase and then you like kept going. I think tracking should be part of hunting. I think
I'm going to stop you right there because the way the potential for the deer getting shot with an arrow in not quite the right place, but enough to where he can get away and then suffer for hours and hours and hours and hours and eventually bleed out.
That's why you don't hunt till you're ready. You get good with your weapon and then you hunt. You don't go out not knowing how to use a crossbow. You practice until you can kill it in one, then you're allowed to hunt. That's how hunting used to happen.
Sure.
It's only once guns started existing
Sure,
that
but-
we started changing the way hunting happened.
Sure, but you're
because
not...
hunting used to be, I need food, so I'm going to do this right. But once all of the prerequisites were filled, and it's like, you have food, you have money, you don't need to sell the skins.
Sure.
You're just doing this for you now because you like to do it.
Right.
It became a little
And but now then
hardly even a game.
Then we're not killing enough deer.
Uh,
We have to kill so much deer every year. They have to kill so much deer every year. Deer need to die every year. So many of them.
deer need to die.
They do. They overpopulate like fucking crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like so do a lot of other animals, but deer are big and they're aggressive and they bother people on the highway. Not like bother people on the highway, but like they run in the middle of the road.
If there are too many of them, yes, they will start wandering into traffic because
Yeah.
there's just not enough room for them to.
Right. And now there's something to be said about we have laid down roads that impede on deer territory.
But they need to die.
But because of the way that our infrastructure is, now they need to die. So like we created the problem that we now have to solve. I understand it's a circular thing that's stupid, but I'm just saying that that's the way it is right now, unfortunately.
If they died in a cooler way, I'd do it more often.
Stop.
I think that about wraps us up, though.
Yeah. Did you have any more other like crimes? Like, oh, that's a crazy one.
Speeding, theft, big crime.
Top 10 crimes. I do want to put just this. I've looked up, is incest okay? No, is it legal?
Yeah.
And now I'm about to do top 10 crimes. So I just want that to be known that that's part of my search history.
Okay.
Top 10 crimes that I should commit. No. Top 10 crimes. Robbery, burglary. Hey,
Robbery. That's like what? Is robbery specifically theft, but you're threatening the person?
No, that would be armed robbery.
No, that's when you're threatening the person and you have a gun.
Oh, robbery involves the taking of property from another person by force. Or threat of force.
Yeah.
What's burglary? Burglary involves unauthorized entry into a building or dwelling with the intent to commit a theft or a crime. Okay.
Oh, I've probably stolen something from someone's house.
By accident.
If I ever stole it from a friend's house, it was definitely an accident. If it was ever from like a relative's house, then it probably was something that cost $1. And yeah, I definitely probably did it on purpose.
Yeah. If it's an accident, it's not a crime.
No, I did. I said, I want this, and I put it in my pocket.
I know, but I'm saying, if you were only to have done it by accident,
then
exactly. That's not a crime.
Exactly.
Penalties. Okay, we got arson.
That's not entirely true.
It is true.
In the court of law, your lawyer cannot say, Your Honor, I plead oopsie daisies. It was an
No.
accident. No, it's still a crime.
There is an intent.
Yeah, there's an intent. It's still a crime. They're just not going to persecute you. They're not going to bring you to court for it because they're your family and they're like, it was $1 and you're a child. You're saying it's okay, but it is still a crime. Theft is theft. There's no way in that theft is not a legal crime, even at the tiniest level. It's just that no one cares. Theft is theft.
I don't know. I think accidental theft is not a crime.
It is a crime, but everyone would forgive you. If the Walmart person checked your receipt and went, oh, and then you were like, oh, it was a genuine accident. Whether or not it was, they'll say it's okay. Like, because if it's a genuine accident, the person won't persecute because they don't care because it was an accident.
You're probably right.
But like, let's say it was an accident. I steal something for $500 by accident, and then I tell the store guy and he doesn't believe me. Is he going to let me go? He's going to persecute me even though it was an accident. And now I have to prove it was an accident. That's the only reason court exists. Is because a crime occurs and one person needs to say it's an accident. That's the whole thing court is. That either no, it did not happen, or yes, it happened and it was an accident. Oopsie daisies. It's still a crime.
The key to a shoplifting charge is intent. The fact is, people walk out of commercial establishments all the time without paying for something by accident. Often they forget that they put it in their bag.
I once got pulled over because it was like midnight and I didn't have my headlights on. And the cop pulled me over. He goes, any reason you don't have your headlights on? And I go, oh, it was an accident. I forgot. And then I turned them back on. He said, okay, you have a good day.
So it's not an easy defense, but by technicality, you did not commit a crime. It's just you're going to have a problem proving that it wasn't a crime. It's not a crime. If you walked by an aisle and something fell into your purse, that's not shoplifting. And you didn't notice, and then you walked out and you didn't pay for it, and then you got caught. That's not shoplifting.
It's hardly even an accident. That's like an act of God. I'd call an accident, do I want A or B? Oh, fuck. Puts B down on person. C. Takes B back out. That won't be. Puts A and C back, but doesn't take it back out to C out of your pocket.
Right.
And then you walk out with it.
You didn't commit
That's
a
an
crime.
accident, but you did do it. Nothing fell in your
You
pocket.
did do it, but you didn't commit a crime.
Are you using the definition of crime?
Yes.
And what was that? Intent is involved?
Intent is a massive part of it. But the problem isn't, oh, you did or didn't commit a crime. The problem is you're going to have a really hard time proving that it was an accident because the cameras have you going, putting one in your pocket and then leaving it in your pocket. So it's impossible to prove. So you're going to get wrongly convicted because you didn't commit a crime, but it really
But if I
looks
took
like you
something
did.
small from my cousin's house, that's a crime. Period.
If you did it on purpose, yeah.
Yes.
But if it fell in your bag and
that
then you
was
walked
never
out
it.
with it,
It was always it was I said, oh, if I took something from a friend's house, it was an accident. But if I ever took something from like a relative's house and it was like small and $1 and I put it in my pocket, then like yeah, I've committed whatever we were saying.
yeah, that is crime. But then you said that if theft happens, then it's automatically a crime, and that's not true. Intent is a huge part of it, and that's with any crime. Any crime. If you accidentally drop a match in a building and it catches on fire, that's not arson.
But it's still illegal.
That's not arson. That is not illegal. To accidentally drop a match and you didn't notice that it caught.
I just mean if a cop saw you do it, they'd say something.
Yeah, they'd say something.
They'd stop you. They'd be like, hey, that's against the shit. And you're like, oh, sorry.
Yes, but it was on accident.
But it's a crime.
It's not if it's on accident. He would tell you, hey,
that's a crime. Oh, thanks.
no, because it's really hard to prove that it's not a crime. So he's going, hey man, you just did that on accident. I'm not going to bring you in, but it looks like you just did that on purpose, and it would be really hard for you to. So I'm telling you right now as a thing of like, I'm trying to protect you because if that camera saw what you just did and you didn't notice, you would be wrongly convicted for a crime, even though you didn't just commit one. But it just looks like you did. And so you're going to get convicted. But I saw that it was an accident. So, I could, like, the police could vouch for you, and then you.
Are you talking about like tornado warning versus tornado watch? It's like all the elements of a crime can be there, but unless all of them are perfectly in order, it's not a.
Correct.
Okay. I think that's a dumb pedantic thing.
I guess, but.
I mean, like I'm looking at things that are nearly synonyms. It's like you did it. You did the thing.
Sure.
I think the word crime is tripping you up. You did it. Whatever it is, you did it.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter why you did it. You did it.
Sure.
That's all I'm saying.
That wasn't what you were saying. But we're going to move on.
The point you're proving isn't what I was saying either. I just said if I was at a relative's house and I put something in my pocket, that's still a crime. And then this is the point you're ending on, as if that finished it. That doesn't rebut. If you take a salt shaker from your cousin's house, put it in your pocket, it's a crime.
Yes, because you clearly did that on purpose.
That's where I started, and this is where you are finishing.
No.
Yeah.
Run the tape back. He said verbatim. This is the first argument of season 4. If it is by accident, it is still a crime. You said verbatim.
The illegal thing has still happened. The thing that would get you arrested if you did it on purpose, even if it happened on accident, if it would get you arrested if you did it on purpose and you still did it, it still happened. I'm calling that thing a crime. And by definition, you're saying it's not. And I'm like, okay, by definition, I guess it's not. But it's still the thing. Yeah. And it happened, and you did it.
Yeah.
You did the crime. It was just an accident that you did it. So now it's not legally called a crime.
It's not illegal. It's not illegal.
It's illegal if you did it on purpose.
Correct.
You did the thing.
Yes.
I'm calling that thing a crime.
Yes.
Okay. You did it. It's a crime. It was an accident, and you're not going to get persecuted. But the thing that would have necessitated a crime having happened, you did it. The thing has happened. If it takes something being in your pocket and you walking out of a store to call that the crime of shoplifting, if you've done it on purpose and you do it on accident, you still have the thing in your fucking pocket and you still leave the store.
Of course.
So that thing, I'm calling it, that's a crime. But you're innocent, and it wasn't a real crime if it wasn't intended. But the thing that happens still happens. It happened. It exists.
So, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
The point you're making is that if you did something, then you did it?
If you steal something from a relative's house and you put it in your pocket, oh, I'm just calling that a crime, even if they wouldn't bring you to court. Even if like no one would persecute, if everyone would forgive you and be like, oh, it's an accident that you did it, that's fine. I don't know. I just know where I ended that conversation.
We're so in the weeds at this point. I don't even know what's going on.
Yeah.
Let's just move on.
I was saying thank you,
dumb.
goodbye.
I know. Go ahead.
I don't know where you started. Oh, you were asking if I had any others?
Oh yeah, I was gonna, because you were like, ask me if I've committed any other crimes.
Okay,
And then-
you can ask me again.
And then we stopped.
Okay, you can ask me again.
Have you committed any other crimes?
No, I was just saying goodbye. If I had any